right, folks, I want to get into a little deeper subject, which is pretty doggone important. One, because commercial real estate specifically has so many types, that you could invest in, work in. So the rules are different than residential, right? Residential, you probably got three choices at tops. So, your single family apartments and then townhomes, that type of thing. And so with commercial real estate, zoning and regulations is so important. So let's dive in. I'm going to do this in two parts because this stuff is important. So I want y'all to get it, because you got to. I just like to feed information. This YouTube page is meant to cover a variety of subjects that I have to deal with because of the level of consulting I've done across the country. And so municipalities are different. And so that's why I can only touch on this at a high level. But please understand, I'll give you a city, for example, is Atlanta. I can't even count the number of municipalities, meaning that's in place there. So you got counties and you got cities in the metro area. So I forgot how many counties it is. You all can look it up. But within those counties, you got different cities. So they all got different zoning and regulations. And so you can see why this module is broken up into two pieces because it's so important. So let's jump in and talk about zoning designation. When y'all see a zoning designation, do not assume a designation is the same across cities or across counties. It absolutely changes. Once you change over into another county, they designate it how they want. There's no rules of how you designate zoning categories and areas, as well as the city council and county commissions can put the rules and regulations how they want, and it's different for all of them. So please understand that going in is not the same. It's like the red zone, right? It changes. What you do in the red zone is not what you do when you're outside the 20-yard line, right, or 25-yard line, whatever that number is. I think it's the 20-yard line, red zone, right? The rules are different. The rules are different in the end zone. And so it's the same way with zoning, so understand that. And I like to relate it like this because people know sports, right? Next is researching local zoning codes. So every city has a breakdown of zoning codes. Often you can find this on the website. It used to be a time where you'd have to go to the city and for internet and those types of things. Or even just in the past, I say 5 years now, pretty much every place across the country have a GIS and geographical information system that keeps all of this stuff online and maps. So you can definitely get out there and look at it and find out what it is from the comfort of your home. So sometimes they put it in the GIS, but almost always it's online as a separate document that you can download and find out specifically what you can do in that area. Here's the trick too is, unless you know what you're doing architectural-wise, this is where you'll have to have an architect if you want to dig in and actually see with perfection what you can do on a particular site in a particular city. Really, you have to read the specific regulations for the area. So it includes, most of the time, permissible land use, building height, setbacks, and so much more. Next is consult with zoning officials. The next level is calling zoning officials and having a conversation about what you can do. That's one level. The next level is you actually have to meet with them after you done, so to speak, tied down a piece of land or interested in a piece of land that you want to develop. Secondarily, what's important is when you already have a building is what can you operate? What type of business can be operated in that building? That's listed and allowed typically under the zoning code. So you see how it's not just read it, I know what I can do, but it's more than one step. And so that's why we always talk about relationships and knowing people. So, and also using professionals that are working in the area in which you want to invest is important too. A lot of times what I see people do is I'm going to hire a person from the other side of the state that has not done any work in the municipality where I'm buying the property at. That is dangerous. And so what happens is that person often, if you do hire them and work with them and they have no experience in that municipality, you will really find difficulties in getting your property to actually success or getting to success. So just one tidbit of good information that's pretty powerful and useful. Other is conditional use permits. So here's what can happen too. Although you have zoning for a particular area, you can petition the local municipality to allow you to do something outside of that zoning category, and that's really called a conditional use. They allow for certain land uses under specific conditions. Understand how to obtain and comply with these permits is so very important. Remember, every municipality is different. It's like you asking the state to do something that the federal government does in their own way. As you know, everybody does it the way that they want to, correct? That's it goes back to me to states' rights. You know, that's a certain power that they have to create the rules. Everybody create the rules based on the people within the community, right? Next is comprehensive plans. Review the comprehensive plans from the area. So municipalities do these little things called comprehensive plans, and they are not little. I just call them little, but they're little because they sometimes hidden and people don't know. But if you were a developer or investor, it would behoove you to go and look at a comprehensive plan for a particular area. And that includes residential and commercial folks. Here's why. That plan often tells you what they're going to allow. So they've done the research ahead of time and said, okay, and worked with the community and said, this is what we want this particular community within the city to look like, operate like, and this is what we want to allow. And so understand that reading that will get you far ahead, because most of the time, the people that work at a municipality, not the politicians, the people that are there doing the day-to-day work, they're going to use that as their guidance. Next is overlay districts. So they have specialized districts that overlay on top of the land use and zoning that allow specific things done in that particular area. So understand that that's part of plans that you'll find within the city that you can kind of go take a look at and understand. Certainly any of this information, you're getting stuck in a project that you're working on, my company, we do consulting, and we'll help you achieve that goal, of course, for a fee. So, but we want to help you get to success. Next, including setbacks. In many cases, for the life safety of people, you know, a lot of times setbacks are created, especially as it concerns apartment complex. So you can get a fire truck in and out, but here's where there's a problem sometimes. When you can't build as much property or build a building as big as you want to, if you can't get enough apartments into a particular development, that's where setbacks become a problem. But in reality, they're not going to change. Zoning is not going to change. The rules are the rules. If they change it for you, then they have to change it for everyone. So just be aware of how setbacks work. And the reality is, no matter what, always remember you got your architect, and they are usually expert in how to do something different that'll allow you to accomplish the same goal. So, yep. Parking regulations. Man, I'm in a city that redid its zoning totally over. Parking regulations can be a problem in certain types of development. But in some cases, what you see now is parking has been overdone a lot. And so what you'll see now is, like in shopping centers, especially retail, if you go to a large big box, all of a sudden that parking lot is starting to disappear. They putting restaurants there. They putting what we call out parcels there. And now you got retail shopping going into places where parking wasn't. A big piece of shopping has gone to online. So guess what? You're not going to see parking lots as full as it used to be. So parking does matter. Ready to take your land investment and development game to the next level? At the Urban Real Estate Academy, our courses provide everything you need to succeed, from mastering land acquisitions to building wealth and increasing your net worth. Each course is packed with practical strategies and insights. Join a community of ambitious investors, get expert guidance, and start positioning yourself for financial freedom. Don't just invest, thrive in land investment. Visit workwithdoriancarter.com and get started today. You just don't need as much parking lot as you need to in a lot of places. As a matter of fact, I don't never remember, except during Christmas and holidays, that our parking lot was full. Most of the time, our parking lot is never full. And so you definitely don't need that these days. So you got to factor in parking, but there are big opportunities around big box stores and what we call unused dead space that needs to be put to work. Opportunity. I just gave you another clue here. Signage. Signage matters. That's all I'll say about that. There are regulations around them. Follow them. Always be mindful of environmental restrictions and obstacles. This is big, especially before you go into a project. This is one of the most important things you can check ahead of time before you go into any type of project in commercial real estate. Environment and what's allowed and required is important. So, last but not least, engage the community. If you avoid the community, it's going to come back to bite you. A lot of people have a problem communicating and dealing with adversity in life. You want to kill a project and lose all your money, then avoid that neighborhood. But at the same time, going to the neighborhood will get you to success much faster. And so community meetings are like being in a huddle in a game, man. You in there working with the community, with the people that matters. You're coming together to impact that community in a positive way. And so you deal with the concerns, but you also, most importantly, build support. It's like being a good player in the game. Take care. If you need help or you got an idea on a project, you got some land out there that you own or you know somebody and y'all want to move that forward into a project that can contribute you cash flow for years and years to come, type me in that. There's a link at the top. I always say it, to schedule time with me. And of course, this is YouTube, baby. Gotta like this page. I'm always dropping the knowledge here. Hey, thanks. I look forward to talking to you. Have a great day.